Oh my god, it's Friday!
It is Friday.
It's our weekly Rift stream. Yay! And we have a puppy here today.
We do have a puppy here today.
Yep.
She
Abby's
really wants to be
here,
on the camera.
and she really wants to bite all the things and chew things.
Well, that's why Ryan's not here.
Yes.
Because Ryan also wants to bite and chew things?
No,
No,
because
she
she
wants to bite
likes to
Ryan.
chew him in particular. I'm Yaviey, your community manager for Rift, and I'm joined here with Keyens, Meyer, who's our systems designer on Rift, and then Archonix, who keeps trying to hide from the camera.
I'm trying to get on.
Oh, we're doing the wave or something. He's our game director of Rift, and we've got some new stuff to talk about because we just launched 4.3 Crucia's Claw earlier this week. Yeah. Which of course included
Archonix. That's so true.
Included a new raid, Bastion of Steel, a new soul that Keyens worked very hard on.
The Myers Archer.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the Wankata.
Not the one kata.
You can use wands at range, but
Yes.
I'm determined not to let
Archonix.
equilibrium be
That's
a
awesome.
thing that we do in the game.
Archonix. Oh yeah.
Because he says no all the time.
Oh, it says Archonix?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of
No.
Because I
Archonix.
always say no.
So we'll change that real quick. But
Archonix.
Archonix.
little technical
Yoinks.
difficulty here. We have not had enough caffeine, I think, today. Or at least I haven't. There's not enough caffeine, I think, in the world. Anyways, so we did want to go through real quick some of the new features, especially since we have Keyens here because he missed. Oh my gosh, Archonix.
Nice. Nailed it.
Nice. Got it and try two.
First try.
Yes.
First try?
First try.
Close.
Because we had planned on having a special stream where we talked about both Autumn Harvest and the new Mage Soul, the Mystic Archer with Keyens, and unfortunately he was very sick that
I
day,
was dying.
and we didn't want to get his cooties, so now that he's cootie free mostly, I mean we still have to spray him down a little bit, but that's not anything
The CDC is not mad at me yet, so, you know, how bad could it be?
exactly. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and then also later today we'll talk a little bit more about Autumn Harvest because that just started yesterday. A little bit about
Thanks, Cole.
wow, we're being trolled right now by Cole.
Pretty sure.
We're being reminded of what fandom he is.
And a little bit about TwitchCon, which we just came back from, or at least I just came back from
I was
earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go to the fun
these
shows.
guys were here.
Some of us were here working instead of just goofing off down to Twitch.
That is not
Yes.
true. I was on my feet for 8 hours
I am
well
trying
aware.
to tell
Thank
people what WASD was.
What?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes, because some people were very new to MMOs, and I did get a little bit of a kick out of the fact that they didn't
does
know
sound
that.
familiar. Oh, it's almost like I went to PAX and had the same
Yes,
experience.
yes.
Roll Tide.
So anyways, Bastion of Steel's the new raid. We've been listening to your feedback, and I know Icarus has been in the forums with you guys discussing some of the complaints and issues you guys have seen and working very quickly to resolve those. So please, remember to be constructive in your feedback, and I think a lot of you guys have been, which has been great, and he's been trying very hard to, figure out exactly what you guys mean. I know sometimes there's a little bit of, language barrier for some of you that don't speak English as a first language, and also I think just trying to understand, just the nuances in communication that happen on a written medium such as the forums. But we are always listening, we're always there, even if, again, we don't always answer, we're trying to make sure that we make the right decisions and then tell you guys as soon as we know what that is. So without further ado, Mystic Archer, let's go a little bit. What made you think of doing that?
So we were looking at when the Premise Souls went out. The first thing we sat down and said is, what do we want to do next? And we looked at what is something that we haven't done in game yet. What is a power fantasy we haven't really looked at? And we've looked at different forms of elemental mages, and we were like, okay, we know we want to do a mage next, but we couldn't. We looked at a couple of different archetypes. We looked at like Gandalf mage with a sword and a staff at the same
Which is what
time.
I wanted personally.
We looked at a pure earth mage as a thing we were looking at for a while. We were looking at some interesting hybrids, and I realized that something that we hadn't done was another weapon-based mage, and Magic Archer was a thing I've seen a couple of different times in lots of different media, and it's a fantasy I've always personally enjoyed. And it also gave us a chance to do a mage who was super mobile and didn't have to feel like a casting turret.
Oh yeah.
And it was a case where the power fantasy was going to be one that was going to work well with being good at open world things, which is something we wanted to target with this particular release. We've spent a lot of time and effort making sure that a lot of the souls are tuned specifically have rotations that work well for raids or dungeons or things, but we haven't spent as much time on open world specific souls.
Yep.
And so we wanted a case where any player who wanted to put in a little bit of time and practice here could pick up this soul and be effective at open world, have some pretty good burst damage on the hop, and have a bunch of survivability and defensive tools so that you could learn a little more aggressive playstyles if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, we're not closing PTS.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah, people.
I mean, it goes down occasionally.
You might not
We
be
have
able to
to.
access your Mystic Archer Soul on PTS because we added the entitlement to it so that it could be purchased, which it wasn't on PTS until like the week before we went live, I think.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's normal because that's how we test all the souls. But as far as I know, we haven't closed access to PTS. It should still be up, unless Jason died or something.
No.
Don't even
No.
put that
He's-
evil on
He's
us.
the only one saving us from some
No.
of these things.
That is very true.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, we need Jason.
We
You
need
better
Jason.
stay alive.
We really need Jason.
We need a healer if this is the case. Deep Rising asks, I would like the Mystic Archer bow to have an actual costume look I could use in wardrobe. Would like to use the costume without having to have it equipped.
It should.
I thought-
So it's an existing costume. It's an existing air bow. I picked something kind of fancy.
Yeah.
We specifically didn't want to make something brand new because we didn't want you have to buy this mage to get this costume, even if you're not a mage player, which was going to be really frustrating. So it's an existing air bow. So there's a good chance you might actually have that look already. But as far as I know, it should just unlock like any other wardrobe item. So if it's not doing that, that's a bug.
Yeah, and if
Question
so,
mark?
well, maybe
So we'll
maybe
have to
just
look at it.
put it on the bug report forums, and then we'll take a look at it and see.
Devs just told us that Trove. This isn't a Trove live stream.
Oh yeah, this is
Oh,
not.
we're not.
That
Trove,
might be why.
So we can't help you with that.
Oh,
I believe they're coming up later today.
Yeah, they are.
Trove
Hold
is
on,
different
hold on,
game.
12:30, right?
Now it's a Trove live stream.
No, you're missing
You got the cock block.
that. No.
That's called.
What's it called?
Oh
the cock
no.
block.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's
That's more of a Trove thing.
yeah. We are
That is a
Rift,
Trove thing.
not Trove. So just in case there is some confusion,
Yeah.
we don't have the blocks. We have cool like
See, I believe
mages and stuff.
believe
The
someone
name is,
said
like, right
you
there.
killed
Oh, yeah.
PvP, Myers.
Yeah.
Why did you
So-
kill PvP?
That one's a hard question to answer. So we were looking at people getting instigated in PvP, which was not supposed to be happening. We found a bug is not the right word to put, but a data discrepancy where the 66 to 70 entries for how it figures out PvP damage were not quite what they were supposed to be. So damage had actually gone up in addition to players just getting stronger. So damage had risen by more than was intended. And we wanted to try PvP where players lived much longer, which one helps new players feel better about their experience because they actually fight for longer, and lets us target obvious cases where something is doing a ridiculous amount of damage much more aggressively. It does have some risks of bringing back tanks being a little too oppressive, and apparently there are several items that are not obeying our PvP rules, which is I'm going to go figure out what the hell's going on with that and fix it. But the intent is that we want time to live to be relatively long. We want you to feel like you're fighting and that the fights really matter, and it shouldn't just be kill hunting. And this way everybody gets to play a little bit more. And we'll be making tuning adjustments to those numbers. We want them to sit for a couple of weeks so that the meta can kind of shift and adjust.
Yeah.
And then basically in kind of like mid-November, we want to come back to it and see, okay, how long is time to live? What kind of things have risen to the top? What things aren't even possible? And see if we want to adjust the global modifiers or maybe specific modifiers and kind of come back to it there. So, yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And I'm not sure if we discussed why we didn't go straight for a raid soul or just raid, because there's some concern that Mage isn't top DPS. So why
So
do
the-
the open world?
So the other changes we made regarding that, so there's a lot of complicated factors for decision making of what purpose we want a soul to fill, and frequently we want them to fill as many purposes as possible.
Yeah.
This isn't always feasible, and the more we push something towards open world, the more careful we have to be with its tools, because tools that are good in the open world and amazing in raid tend to be really powerful because they have a lot of defensive options, a lot of mobility.
Hey, Cole.
So we have to be really careful with how far we can push that.
They're saying the audio and video's not synced.
Oh no, audio and video's not syncing. That's sad.
You might want
but
to try
I'll keep-
refreshing just to see if
Yeah.
that fixes it first.
I lost my track. And we very often don't make new souls that are expressly fun and awesome to play in the open world because either the rotations require some amount of time in the rotation to feel right, or the payoff is later on in the rotation, which you don't always get in the open world. So we want to design something that worked basically in the reverse here. And you can still totally do dungeons and raids with your Mystic Archer. It's just not going to be as clearly easy and obvious. So some of those expert players are going to have to, write some new guides for you to kind of pick out some of the things you should be doing at a longer, more sustained DPS rotation.
And if you do have guides, let us know. You can ping me either on the forums or on Twitter, on all of our social networks and stuff like that. So we'll make sure to feature them because we do want more people playing the Mystic Archer and finding ways that we can do cool stuff with it and show other people how to play and make it feel right as well. Something else I'd like to say is just how creative the soul is because it's so different. You get to do things that you've never been able to do in Rift, and I think it's important that we really say thank you about that because that's how we get innovation and that's how we get cool other things to come later on.
Yeah, one of the things that I felt like was really important here was I wanted to try a new targeting system. Is not the way I would put it, but that's effectively what it is. Because one of the things that is part of evolving as an MMO is that we want to try new and different things insofar as seeing what proof of concepts even work. So we now have information about future changes we can make to souls, new abilities we can make, new things we can do in the souls that Mystic Archer has now paved a way for because we don't need to necessarily do another soul where everything is around AoE like this, but we could do things where parts of the soul do that, or there's specific abilities that do that. And so this lets us really try new things. So, taking part in playing Mystic Archer helps us figure out what mechanics people like, what things they don't like, and what mechanics do and don't work for our gameplay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so let's see. So we've talked about Mystic Archer a little bit. Did you want to give a little bit more of an overview of the Eternal weapon changes that you did?
Yeah, so the biggest change here is mages and clerics and warriors were not in a place where we want them to be yet. And warriors had a second problem where their bonus was going to be infinitely scaling and we couldn't leave it as it was forever. So at a high level, there was a bug with Warden that made us skittish about making hots and dots available. That bug has been fixed, so now Eternals should work for pretty much every heal over time or damage over time effect. It's not as immediately obvious because they get added to the total value, so you'll see a much smaller relative change. But the damage per cast time of that button's flat difference is about the same as it would be. So they are working, at least as far as I can tell. And we wanted to buff Cleric and Mage specifically by a lot, so they got very large bonuses to the actual flat values they're pumping out. And Cleric got a huge uptime increase, which is good. The other big difference we made was we wanted to rework the percent bonuses into flat bonuses, so Warriors got by far the highest flat bonus, and a small change to their mechanics to make it easier to trigger for everybody. Basically, your base energy regen is just reduced while you're wearing it, so it's much easier to push down to that low number and then get the bonus. And it has no ICD anymore, so you just drop back to it and off you go. So, and that's why Warriors have like a 45,000 damage bonus while that's up. It needs to be that high or they can't keep up with everybody else because of how they're structured and how their damage works.
Yeah, that's awesome. And a lot of those changes were brought because of your feedback that we've been getting on the forums. And obviously, we'll continue to tweak it as time goes on and you guys have more feedback for us. But we are listening and we are making changes. They're not always 100% what you guys want, but we've got to tweak it here and there where we can. And for us, and for Keyens in particular, the Eternal weapons were a great way to do that, especially because the high-end rating DPS was specifically, where we wanted to focus based on your guys' feedback.
I'm also seeing questions about wanting other classes wanting souls too. We have specifically decided to stop looking at souls as groups of 5. We want to start doing them as one-offs. It's one, they get much more attention and much more focus, We can do kind of slightly wilder things with them, like we did with Mystic Archer. We couldn't really support that if we were doing 5 souls all at once.
Oh yeah.
So doing singular souls like this, one, allows us to sell souls as you can buy it just for the class you play. So if you're not a mage, you don't have to look at Mystic Archer unless you want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
This lets us focus a little bit better on those things, and we'll have some less of the weird interaction bugs that we used to have. Because we just have more time to focus on specific souls.
Mm.
So as far as getting a bunch before Christmas, I think the answer is no.
No. We're coming into that
Yeah.
part of the season called holiday season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are starting to take vacations. I'm about to be out of town for a
Rude.
little while, so I know, right?
People actually want to like go spend time with their family.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would you not want to be here with us, where we're awesome?
Yeah, so Mystic Archer is definitely the last one of those for sure for at least this calendar year, and I don't know when the next thing is planned
Mm-hmm.
to be talked about. So
You need Schnauzer socks.
That's
She just
True.
eat them. She's
she
A
would eat them.
terror.
I can guarantee. When
Make
I
a
watched her,
preset
she
for
did
MA.
eat
there
lots
is
of
there is a
stuff.
There is a
preset for
preset for
MA.
MA.
I made it 11th hour, and Nico yelled at me because we almost forgot to translate it.
Oh no.
But there should be one. If you're not seeing it on your mage, that's weird.
fantastic
bug
souls and where they DPS
in the bug
event.
report forums
Brilliant.
section. Yes, and we will take a look. Yes, anywhere but the dimensions.
I've seen a lot of questions for me. I was just letting Myers do his
Oh,
thing.
okay. Yeah, what questions did we have
Let's
for
see.
Archonix?
One of them was, why aren't we doing 5-pack souls? I think that was answered.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, crap. Now I forgot them. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Well, if you do have more questions, please feel free.
You're correct. You are not our QA testers. We have those internally. But sometimes we don't catch everything. We are human.
Yes.
Seasonal Rifts. I believe you can find them, I want to say, in any of the vanilla zones. Vlad will have to back me up.
Yeah,
Because
I don't.
Tacticus is out of the office today.
Yes.
How do we get the Widowmaker's outfit? Good question. Not ready to answer that one yet.
Soon, TM.
We like bugs. Not really, but
No.
they sort of exist. Can the Eternal Armor get buffed to catch up with crafted Tier 2 gear?
I believe we have to look at those values. I don't work with items very often because they require a bunch of time to learn all the systems to them. But Vlad will know for sure if we can update those. I believe they're at least close to Tier 2 stuff, but I don't know how close.
The guy on the sofa, the letter A is from Arcage. No.
No.
It's from Alabama. Roll Tide. Okay, what the heck is a Dreambolt in the Autumn Harvest event? That is Dreambolt? Is it Dreamweaver or... Oh, gosh.
It's from the it's
from breaking
the
down artifacts.
Dimensioneer crafting
Yes.
Dreamweaver that also makes Dream Orbs.
Dreamweaving.
It's their base material, I believe.
Before we get into more questions, because we did have some that were taken specifically from the forums, I want to make sure that we get to those before it's too late.
Rough Raptors
So-
is stalking us.
Yes, Rough Raptors does that. Also, happy birthday, Rough Raptors.
Challenge
Yeah.
server updates. I don't think we're calling them challenge servers anymore, but it's definitely being worked on internally.
Yes.
I have no idea what the
It's a
actual
big
name
thing
is
right
anymore.
now. Yeah.
It's been
It's
through like
secret.
4
It's been through like
reviews.
9 different names. Yeah. Let's see. Are we
Yes,
going
we-
to split the
no.
current soul packs? No plan currently.
Like I just said, we're gonna switch real quick to make sure that we answer the
sorry.
forum questions
Oh yeah.
before
Okay.
we take more from here, so that
I'll
those
shut
people make sure, because some of them are in different time zones. They said
Oh.
they felt like they
Gotcha.
couldn't always get their questions asked because of when
Fresh
we
start
do
is 2 words. I agree.
Okay, so these are questions from the forums that were put up earlier this week after we announced, that we were talking about 4.3 today. We have 5 total questions here. The first one is from Not a Waifu, who we know is our resident mage expert. Why didn't we have other class bug fixes in the 4.3 patch?
The short answer is the realities of how many hours there are in a day. So the short version is, in addition to doing things that are for live, like immediate release, I also, as part of my job, have to do things for future release. I have to write docs about designs that we're going to be working on.
Or challenge servers.
Or challenge servers. And so there's other things I do on a day-to-day basis that are not just fixing bugs or working on new souls. So those do take some amount of time, and we've had a lot of time we wanted to put into those as well. So in addition to the things I was doing for live, I was kind of juggling a lot of things all at once. So we had slightly less just in the raw bug fixes category for this release.
But there were bug fixes.
There were
so
definitely bug fixes for
out
everyone.
there.
Also importantly, we don't save all the bug fixes for the massive updates. We do them weekly.
Some of those were just going out as we went too.
Yep.
Real quick, someone asked about PvP again. We are monitoring the current changes. We're not going to do any knee-jerk changes like this week, maybe next, but plan for some updates in November.
Yep.
Okay, and Singh asks, what are the next steps for class balance, which I think we sort of touched on.
Yep. So as always, it will be monitoring where things are and kind of what our target current audience is playing and how they're using the souls. For the average player, so just your kind of, I'm the login every day and do assorted random things. Most of the souls are going to be about the same for you. There are some outliers that are either soft deprecated for the time being until we've had a full rework on them or something like that, but those are pretty rare. So for your average player, you can just kind of use whatever you want. For your raiders, you're going to want to stick to whatever's currently top. More things should be competitive now with the Eternal changes, but there are still some outliers, and we're keeping an eye on those. So there will probably be some changes for those, although again, nothing is going to happen sooner than like mid-November for those, just because we need time to see where everybody lands and before we kind of jump to any conclusions and create bad interactions by accident. So
Yeah, totally.
Hold on.
Yes.
Thank you for the email address.
What?
Roberto gave me his email address. Thanks.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, he also wanted how old I am? Super old. Older than this Chris.
Yes.
For Alanis, for the Mummified Power Pack, you won at an Extra Life live stream. Those are still being worked out. You should get them, I believe, by the end of the day today. I think that's when they said that they would get all the rest of the prizes out. So stay tuned for an email from our team from that. But since these are manual processes, they do take quite a bit of time. And last week we were out at TwitchCon. So I do appreciate your patience on that. Let's see. So Cloud asks, why is it that lockboxes have been changed to include seasonal cosmetic items that in years past were available via currency or credits?
I'm sorry, I like the sofa boss thing. We constantly try to do new things with lockboxes all the time. One of the big complaints from the previous years was that, people who did get the broom couldn't get anything else. They wanted more options in there. So we try to spread them out this year. There are numerous direct purchases on the store.
Yep.
We brought back a bunch of the old stuff from last year that was direct purchases and but event currencies on them. We went ahead and added some in-game ones. So in the Autumn Harvest instance, there's also some masks you can unlock via Dream Bolts, as someone mentioned earlier. And some are going to be in the boxes. That's just the way it is.
Yep. So hopefully that clears things up. Holy Roller 12 asks, are Bastion of Steel trash supposed to drop loot?
So I don't know the actual current answer for this, but what I do know was the intent was we wanted to have loot on them. I know Icarus put some, or was trying to, and had them be part of the lockout, so as soon as you killed trash, you got locked, which is really frustrating for pugs who don't know if they're going to get any kills on bosses. So I know he changed the lockout rule. I don't know if any loot was removed, but if I were a betting man, I would not say farming trash for loot is a good use of your time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I believe we did remove the lockout.
Yes, the lockout for killing the trash, I think, was removed. I think that might even already be on live.
Yep.
I think that went out, I want to say that went out yesterday morning.
Yeah, I feel like that went out yesterday.
Yep. And that was, again, one of the things that we changed based on your guys' feedback. So thank you for that. So last question from the forums is Sing again. What's the future plan for updated classes with souls, which actually I think we did answer earlier.
So we covered it lightly, but basically the short version is we're going to do souls one at a time in the future, and reworks will be specific targeted cases, because it is... Making a new soul is a relatively expensive process. Even just doing a single soul is from the time we decide, hey, we want to do a new thing and we don't know what it is, to it's ready to go live and I can go work on other things.
It's a long time.
It's about a month, best case scenario.
And that's if you're doing nothing
I'd say
else.
3.
So no bug fixes.
For
for
one soul, it might be
Sure.
a month. And when we do whole packs, it's we're talking about 4 or 5 months of time.
2 update cycles typically.
Yeah, it's 2 update cycles for that. So that's kind of the logic on why we want to get them down to single soul packs, because we can release something a little more frequently if we're doing that.
I'd say, what do you guys want? Post on the forums. Do you have any great ideas?
Yeah.
Do you want to see something more like the Mystic Archer? Do you want to see those mechanics on other souls? Just let us know.
yeah, if you've got cool power fantasies you think we've never really heard of or talked about before, feel free to drop those. I think the suggestions forum is a decent place to put those. I browse that periodically, kind of once a weekish for stuff. So yeah, if you've got something that you think is a clever idea that we've never really brought up before or talked about in any meaningful way, feel free.
Captain Cursor, no.
No.
Captain Crucia's really trying. There was somebody that said that they didn't get a chicken walker from a previous live stream. So we'll message you after this and see if we can find out what's going on there.
Holy Roller asked if we've already started working on a new soul. I don't know how to answer this
The
question.
answer is souls are always being worked on.
Yes.
We can't
I
share.
know it's not what you want, but yes, I have seen specs for updated and new souls.
Yes. That's all we can tell
That's
you,
what the
or
couch
else
boss
we'd
says.
have to kill you, and we
No!
don't want to kill you. Oh, we did say
you're
his
gonna
name
make her
3
bark.
times.
Oh,
So what about
She's
this
gonna
one
bite you.
kata thing I hear? Oh, Abby's mad.
She smells the cat on me.
Oh.
killer
It's
dog.
like Rough
Killer
References in
dog.
here again.
Hi.
Again,
So
because
that's
the dog
Abby, our resident.
No. What's her name?
Abaddon.
Abaddon.
She is the destroyer.
The destroyer of Wankata mages.
No, we have a Wankata mage.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and
If
now
you
you're
equip
really excited.
Mystic Archer as a 0-point soul, and you click ranged attack, your mage will cast through their wand, which is all I've been asking for. For what, like
Ever?
4 years?
Why does the dog hate Captain Cursor?
Because I'm big.
That's true.
very imposing.
That's very true.
And he
She's
frequently
very
smells like a
small.
cat.
Yeah. I'm not even talking with my Archonix voice. Because I'm evil.
That
God.
that part is also
There
true.
you go.
Yes.
There you go.
So, something I did want to bring up, we did go to TwitchCon last week, and thank you to everyone who was able to join us. We met a ton of new streamers and old streamers, and one of them was Celine. She's one of our artists, or she's a community artist that also does stuff for some of our other games, including Alex Reactor. It was so awesome to meet her and just get to talk to people about Rift. And something that we talked about earlier was that it was interesting that a lot of people, I felt like, came up to the booth had never played MMOs before. And so it was kind of cool getting to see their face because we put them all on like level 70 characters. So they were max level, with tier 1 raid gear, and they were, jumping on through the celestial lands and getting to see their face because they had never seen a game like that intense with so many buttons and so many things you could do and feeling so powerful. So it was kind of cool, and I hope that we'll get to see them in game because a lot of them were like, I'm definitely gonna go home and download this. And it was a lot of fun meeting people there, and even just learning about people's different streams, sort of what they're looking for in a stream, what they're looking for from a game to stream. So we got some good feedback there, and hopefully we can implement some of those things and just get more people into Rift. So last but not least, we do have a little bit of time to take some more questions from players, and then we have some cool, including some Autumn Harvest prizes for everybody. So let's get a few more questions in.
So there was a question from Holy Roller again, which was, are there going to be any tier 1 equipment packs like we did at the end of Nightmare Tide like raiders who have their tier 1 gear already and all their marks, they can just buy full packs on the store?
Oh, hey.
I don't know the answer to that offhand. I don't think we've talked about it yet, so the answer might be I just have to ask Vlad after this stream and we can find out. We haven't talked about specifically having gear packs for that yet, but it's probably something we should at least have a conversation about. Bundles are coming, so Vlad answered that question already.
Okay, cool.
There you go. Bundles coming.
Saves me a conversation to have to have.
And is there a reason for adding new barriers to the realm of Autumn Harvest?
Dog has beard envy.
I'm not sure.
I'm not aware of
what that means.
ones. As far as I know, it's mostly the same as last year from what I've heard from Tacitus. But
That's what I was told as well.
if you're hitting a wall that is unexpected or odd, if you put it in the bug forums, then we can at least figure out if it's a bug or not. Should be a good start.
And Eternal Armor, we said that Eternal Armor will be upgraded, but what about Eternal Weapons? Will they become tier 2?
Again, another question for Vlad. I believe the intent is for us to extend that upgrade system at some point. I just don't know when/where. I think that's a question for Vlad and Tacitus when it gets assigned out.
Okay.
I've seen catch-up mechanics brought up a couple times for Eternals. That's a great question. We'll follow up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I thought Nightbite
T2
had a
currency
question.
from
I was going to
expert
answer
dungeons.
Nightbot.
I think the answer is going to be no. It would be very odd for us to have. We don't really have dungeons that are like the typically tuned to be equivalent raid currency.
We have in the past, sort of as incentives for in-game raiders to keep joining the LFG pool and all that. kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, the small like from the weekly. Yeah.
So it's a
They're
good
not
question.
currently hooked up, but I don't. Yeah, not from every player. It might be from the bonus charges. Is a better place to put that. So yeah, I don't know if we've planned on updating that yet.
And Vlad said can certainly do some catch up on the Eternal Quest line.
Yeah.
So we'll get that added in at some point later on down the line.
Let's see. When will we
approaching that
see
time.
Vlad's beautiful soul on stream?
Never.
Trick
Never.
question.
Never.
He has no soul.
Yeah. You've asked for something that is physically impossible.
It's physically impossible.
You wouldn't see it. He's actually been here
He has.
a lot of
Modern
streaming, but no
technology
one could
just
see
doesn't
him.
Pick him
Yeah.
up.
Only children pure of heart can see him.
He's of the
That's why
right.
none of us can
the
see
Yeah,
right
that's
band
why
in the
none of you
house.
can see him.
Yeah.
Um,
Will it be possible to buy capture
I-
intel from the shop? I do not believe that's an option.
correct.
Probably not. We might look at some catch-up mechanics for
Yeah.
Intel down the road. I don't know what I haven't seen like the big schedule spreadsheet that's supposed to govern how fast you're supposed to get things. So
Karuto asks, the artifacts in Autumn Harvest are still Mythosian and Storm Legion. Any chance to be updated before the event finishes? I'm
I
going to probably say no.
Don't believe we did
Yeah.
updates to those this year.
yeah, I
Yep.
think if it's on live now for the event, it's probably the
Yep.
way it's going to be.
Yes.
Catching particles sucks.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Just take some
Let's
practice.
see.
Is the only way to get... Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Is the only way to get a better mage bow is to loot an Eternal or from the Eternal weapon
So
class?
the mage bow you get as a mystic archer is basically the best bow you can put in that slot. There may be better ones or ranged weapon
Yeah.
options. But
You don't
it's one
have
of
to
the only
use a
bows
bow.
you can get.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you can put something else in there, and
You
I
can
believe you can
one-cut it.
wardrobe a bow over a wand.
He's so
I think we
excited
fixed
about that.
I am!
But yeah, so yeah, it is basically the best bow you get access to, especially with the change we made to not have the ranged weapons actually have damage on them anymore for a number of reasons. So yeah, so those are your best option. I don't know if we even have ranged Eternals yet.
Mhm.
Question mark. I don't think we made those yet.
I don't think we made
I don't
but
think we made
it's
ranged Eternals.
you
No.
don't need that to be good with Mystic Archer, right?
Correct. Yeah, you can, and I believe you can wardrobe a bow over the wand, but I don't remember if we
You
got that
can.
fixed or not. Because
See,
I know Alan was looking at it.
Someone asked, what are the odds of getting a broom from a lockbox? Higher than not opening a lockbox.
True.
Yes. That is
But
accurate.
officially, I don't think we give the percentage.
What are the odds
chances
of getting
of those
spooky,
items.
spooky from a lock?
Higher than getting a broom from a lockbox.
certainly better
Significantly
odds
higher
than
than getting a broom from a
So
lockbox.
you know, there's that.
We fixed spooky, right? Yes.
Oh yeah,
that fixed mine
yeah. I
yesterday.
got spooky. I have like all spooky characters now.
Ooh. Let's see.
Killer Cuddles asked if there's a way to
Huh.
make options for active upgrades. I believe the system does not support that, but I don't know for
I like
sure.
the idea though.
Yeah, having do one of three things is an interesting idea. I like that for progression systems, mostly because it lets us not have to make 5 different tracks.
You can do it with an item.
But I don't believe the
And then
system
do the
currently
upgrade,
supports
and
that.
then
I
you
don't
can
know
do
if
the
RR
active
has
upgrades.
got the bandwidth to update that system at all. I think he wrote it. When do we get an Abby pet?
Aw.
Make her fight other
I'm sorry,
companions like
Water
elemental
One.
squirrels.
But
That'd
we're
be
not
adorable.
interested.
Yeah.
Thank you for the proposition though.
I think we'll get an Abby pet when we get an actual
Corgi
rig
pet?
for her.
It has
Her
been discussed.
I really want a corgi.
We already have.
We
a
have.
No, I
you
want
have
a
so
corgi
many
mount.
I want a
corgis.
corgi mount.
You have a corgi pet. You have an actual real live
Yeah,
corgi.
you have-
And
you
I also
have-
need a corgi
You
mount.
have a corgi mount.
No, I don't.
He's just not
I
grown
mean,
up yet.
small. A
He's
very
small.
small person could
No.
ride your corgi.
Yeah.
No, I need it in Rift so everyone will know.
Oh, Hardcore wants. There we go.
See,
I
other
guess so.
people also want corgi mounts. Yes.
No.
And I also
stop
know
this.
Kiwi would be on board with this too.
I'm still all
So-
for Bruce
Rigged.
Campbell budgie.
For what?
Bruce Campbell budgie. It's just
What?
a budgie with a wing replaced with a
That's
saw.
That's
good.
Yeah.
That would be
I'm
pretty
good
nice.
with that.
see. Look at all these people that agree with
could
me
probably
that
even get him
corgi
to
mounts
voice
would be
I don't
great.
know these people.
Yeah,
They're bots.
yeah, sure.
That's in the
These
budget,
are
right?
obviously
That's totally
corgi
in the
agenda
budget.
bots.
I'm good with this. These are great peoples.
Only if it's actual corgi size, so it shrunk you down.
So really, we could probably
Like our
only
mini
get
squirrel
a
from,
bit a
the
large
Spader.
size non-pet corgi if it was an enemy, and so you'd have to fight the corgis.
No,
So
No.
that's your choice.
On the
No,
bright
does
side,
Nightmare
at
Tide
least
have
they'd
to
have a
remember the
chance to
Corgi
fight
Master
back
quest?
this time.
No.
Exactly.
Let's not do that.
There's a saga quest where
Okay,
you remember a Corgi
I don't
massacre.
want.
There
no
is.
killing.
I wrote
Yeah.
that quest.
I'm
remember
mad at
that.
you.
But you
Hey,
did
let's talk
commit-
about elves and how
No,
inferior
okay.
they are to all
Let's
other
not.
races.
No.
What?
No, that's actually not in lore.
Really?
Elves are always better than you.
That is
That's
true. That is
That
true.
is the
It's true.
essence of an elf.
That is
Oh,
true.
they're hipsters.
Yes.
Which you would know.
They were
would
the they
know.
were the original ones.
Excuse me, my glasses have actual glass in them.
He does not have a full man
What
bun
is
yet.
that supposed to mean?
They're not just frames for the look.
Whatever. Looks cool. You know?
Glasses that I forgot.
Yeah, that
Yours
you're
have
not
glasses.
even
What
Why
wearing.
happened
do
to this
that?
live stream?
I don't know.
It went
Okay.
off the
Corgis.
rails.
I don't. Yeah, we had a.
Dude on the couch.
There's lots
The
of.
horns
there's
on
Put the
dudes.
horns on the Doge.
What the
I don't think I can go
yeah.
anywhere near the
She would
Doge
not.
without her biting me,
She's,
and they don't
He
fit.
might lose a finger, but I think chat will agree. Worth the risk.
Where's the
Make,
risk?
make
All right.
Abby our queen and let her kill Crucia. Even Abby couldn't take Crucia.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Yeah, Crucia keeps coming back.
It's
Yeah.
very strange. Do we want
Fight to win the mount.
to give
That
away
would be
some
cool.
prizes? Do we want to do
We don't
that?
have
That's
to.
a
Do we have more
dude.
questions?
Dude, that's a
Yeah,
that's
we
a
answered
good
the
one
questions.
for
Nice.
secret PvP ideas.
What?
Ooh.
Secret
Oh,
key.
Fight
that's
to
what
win the
someone
mount.
asked about the Autumn Harvest Warfront,
Oh.
and that's a big oops.
Oh.
It, I believe, is getting turned back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's good to
That's
know.
my bad. What's it called?
Keyens, will you be my friend?
I don't
know who said it, so
I don't know
yeah,
either. It went by so fast.
I'm very
The
discerning
Monster
about my
Mash?
friends.
Monster Mash Blackguard. Thank you. It's been so long.
So the first
I keep
prizes
forgetting about that.
that we have are 4 30-day patron passes.
Unless chat doesn't want any prizes.
4 of them?
Yeah.
No, I think
4?
those X's.
That's not
That's-
a round number. It
that's
used to
too
be
many.
5.
Oh, 5.
Five's a round
okay.
number.
Well, Archonix said 5, so we're gonna go with 5.
That is
5 is a perfectly round number.
Harb Chloro says, "I
no,
want
a
Keyens to be
round.
my
A
friend."
round. It's half of a round number
I'm sorry,
because a
what?
round
Harb
number means
Chloro.
there's a zero.
Harbinger, Chloromancer.
I'm aware of what hard chloro means. I just don't know
Otherwise,
what
it's
that
not
is,
a round
so-
number.
I
maybe.
figure you do. You're the systems
Guess
guy.
it's
Yeah,
You
fine.
should know.
I,
Maybe
of
the
course,
All of
memorized
them.
our entire
Maybe
player
the
roster.
Yes.
It's just part
Maybe.
of the job.
Oh,
It is.
definitely wingdings.
So
are we
Robert
spamming? Oh, we did
Rovers
stuff.
has won one of the 30-day patron passes, as well as Wheezing Muffin 9. It sounds like you might need to go to the doctor.
You should.
Captain JT Kirk, nice name,
Oh,
Nice
nice.
and Slipmat Rift,
Oh, hacks.
as well as Fink Tiwi. I think that's how you would say that.
Fink
You guys have all won 30-day
Fink?
patron passes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, and hopefully that helps get you some more cool stuff in
So
Rift.
rigged.
At least it wasn't RR.
Yeah, because
That would have
Yeah.
been. Then it would have been a round number.
well,
Yes, I would have. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
and because it's autumn harvest, we have 4 broom mounts that we're gonna give away.
Magical
So,
brooms.
Yeah, the magical brooms that you go.
Oh my god.
It's not a round
Those
number.
are so cool.
They go around and around and
Yeah.
around. My
So
legs.
who's won?
I need an actual broom for my
Jaden,
character. to
Jaden?
then-
Unusual bunny.
That would
Sounds adorable.
Wouldn't it be
Unusual
unusual?
bunny.
So if a usual
As opposed
bunny
to
is
a
adorable,
totally
wouldn't it be
normal-
statistically
No, they're
unusual?
all. It's a bunny, so it's adorable. Darkness Calibero
Darkness Caliber of Madness.
Thank you. I could not pronounce that. And Royal Light
Underscore.
_.
It's important.
It's
or would
important.
Be
It would be another royal light.
Archonix give away Raven Wings.
Yeah, do you want to give away
Oh.
any of those?
Yes.
Problem is they're not set up to be given away.
Yes. Give away
Um,
raven wings to the staff.
Oh, to the staff. What? I'll leave that up to Jen. If she wants to give away Raven Wings, that's fine. I'm gonna offload that to.
That's not even fair because I don't even do the grants. That's on the rest of the team, and I don't want them mad. Let's think about it for a little bit. We
Always
have,
better to ask forgiveness than permission.
That is very
and
true.
that
No.
is why I don't like
No.
working with you.
No,
Very
no,
true.
not with a person that you'd have to ask
Yeah.
for.
So we also have a mummified power pack with that really cute squirrel,
Ooh.
mummified squirrel mount that we will
Wraps.
give away.
Mummified squirrel.
Wraps is awesome.
Not as good as Necronama squirrel.
Mummified power
I
pack.
cannot
Whatever.
wait to do the
One.
all undead squirrel dungeon.
Oh, man,
Wait,
that's
what?
gonna be great.
That's going to be so fun.
So many undead squirrels.
I cannot wait.
Also, this is not a thing.
You think I'm joking? No, it's totally going to be a thing.
And
It's
Wolfkey
lying.
On my list of
won
things. It's on my
the
list of
Mummified
things to
Power
do.
Pack, which does include the awesome
It is not Rough Raptors.
wraps.
Go away, Rough
Rough Raptors, stop trolling us.
Everyone
Also,
knows
happy
you're supposed to
birthday.
be quacking. Oh, happy birthday, Rough Raptors.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We have to make sure that we bring that up because every day is his birthday.
It's a day that ends in Y, so
Yep.
it's a Rough Raptor's birthday.
Yes. Yaviey, Killer Loose Ass, haven't got my pack. Yes, somebody else is handling that, so I will follow up again with them
My
today.
pack either.
I did reach out to them earlier
Not my
this
pack.
week as I emailed you, so I will see what's going on
Loose Gantics. There's some
and
Loose
try to
Gantics
get you
coming out
that
soon.
pack.
Is it a
So,
mummified
do we have
mustache?
anything else?
There's one more.
Mustache.
Is this not one more thing we're giving away?
Oh, yes, it's launch day.
You typed these.
Yes,
Wait,
I
it's launch
did.
day?
What?
It's launch week.
Well,
anyway.
launch week, sorry. So, we were going to give away something really
Wait, what are we giving away?
good. Something
I do not remember
awesome.
that. Wait, where?
The fourth one. The fourth thing.
Etc.
No, what? No.
Not the etc.
Prizes.
That's not a prize.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, so now somebody is gonna get silver tier.
We need like an emote for that.
I know there should be a whole. Oh, sorry, Abby. I'm sorry. I scared her.
No, she's happy. She wants silver tier.
So who is the lucky
She also
winner?
wants to bark at someone.
Yeah.
She really does.
Rough Raptors.
No.
There's a dog
Rough
outside.
Raptors, you get out of here.
Does that mean I have
Okay.
to give away how many silver?
No, just
Okay,
the
just the
one.
one.
I do not
Just
want
the one.
to
Have we rolled yet?
Hegia has won silver
Hegia.
tier.
Yeah, congratulations.
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 Thank you so much for joining us on our 4.3 Crucia's Claw adventure stream. I hope that we answered your questions regarding the Mystic Archer and class balance and all that kind of stuff, at least some of them. So we really appreciate you guys joining us, and we hope that you have a super awesome weekend, and hopefully you're playing more Rift and making guides and stuff.
Yeah.
And also say bye, Abby.
Say bye.
Wankata!
Oh.